If you've been trying to hear your spirit guides, but all you're getting is silence, well, you're not alone. And here's the part that nobody ever tells you. The reason you can't hear them has absolutely nothing to do with ability. It's because almost everyone makes the same simple mistake. Fix this one thing, and you'll be shocked at how quickly your guides become clear. Well, here's what we're going to cover today. Because once you understand these three pieces, everything about how you hear spirit suddenly shifts. First thing is, we're going to cover the real reason your guides seem silent even though they're communicating constantly to you. Secondly, we'll talk about how to tune your inner awareness so that their guidance becomes unmistakable. And third, we'll cover the one practice that turns their subtle whispers into clear, confident communication. Now, here's why this is so important for you, especially if you've been maybe feeling stuck or unsure lately. When you hear your guides clearly, you stop second-guessing yourself. You stop wondering if you're just making things up. You stop feeling like you're walking through life alone or maybe without direction. But when you can't hear them, you're just going to keep missing the signs that they're sending. You'll stay in your head instead of being in your intuition. You'll keep feeling unsure, disconnected, or maybe feel like you're doing something wrong. And honestly, that's when most people give up on their spiritual connection altogether. Not because spirit isn't there, but because no one ever taught them how to listen just the right way and open themselves up. So if you've ever felt frustrated, confused, or like everyone else hears their guides except you, then this episode's going to help you change all that. Hey there, and welcome to Spirits Beside Us. I'm Chris Lippincott, international medium, bestselling author, and spiritual life coach. For 20 years, I've been connecting with spirit, and I help spiritually curious people like you raise your vibration and trust your inner guidance. So that way you can live with clarity, peace, and purpose. And if you're looking to connect with your spirit guides, then what I recently put together could help you. It's a free spirit guide connection starter kit that clearly spells out the simple process and helps you open up to the communication from your guides. And the link to that is in the description below. So if you've ever wondered why you just can't seem to hear your spirit guides clearly, or maybe you're afraid that you're blocked in some way, then you're in exactly the right place. Because once you understand how spirit actually communicates, everything becomes easier and a lot clearer. So let's dive in and start with the real reason your guides sound silent, even though they're reaching out to you constantly. They're always communicating with you, whether you know it or not. All right, so let's start with the part that surprises most people. Your guides are never silent, not for a second. They don't go offline. They don't disappear. They don't just stop talking to you. That's just not how spirit works. What really happens is actually much simpler and honestly, a lot more comforting. See, your spirit guides communicate in a different energetic language than the one that you're used to listening for. We're always talking with our mouths or our heads, right? Most of us are really trying to hear them kind of like we hear a friend talking across the room with literal words, full sentences, or something loud and obvious that's coming through. But your guides don't use that kind of volume. They use vibration, not volume. They use impressions. They use inner nudges. They use sensations, images, feelings, and inner knowing. All that means that if you're listening with the wrong part of yourself, it's going to feel like absolutely nothing's happening, even though your guides are speaking constantly. It's very much like trying to tune into a radio station, but you're just a few clicks off the frequency. You don't hear silence because there's no music. You hear silence because you're not on the right station, the right frequency. And here's the thing, the spirit station isn't louder. In fact, it's actually subtler, more quiet. It's a lot quieter than your thinking mind. It's quieter than stress. It's quieter than your expectations of what guidance is supposed to sound like. So it's really subtle. So it seems like silence is actually signal interference, not a lack of communication, just a misalignment of where your awareness is pointing. And once you realign it, once you start listening with your inner senses instead of your logical mind, the clarity really comes in fast, sometimes shockingly fast. So if you've been thinking, why can't I hear anything? You're probably listening for the wrong thing. Your guides might not be giving you words. They may be giving you a number of different things. Maybe they're giving you a gut pull or a sudden image, maybe a warm wave of energy, a shift in your chest. Maybe it's a thought that just feels not quite yours, pops out of the sky. Maybe it's a memory that pops in. It's a feeling that sort of sits in your body, or an inner nudge that appears out of nowhere. And you're like, oh, what is that? That's communication. It's just happening in spirit's language, not our language. Once you understand that, the silence starts to fade. You realize you've been receiving guidance all along. You just didn't know where to point your awareness. So now that you understand why the silence happens, let's move into how to actually tune your inner awareness so their messages become unmistakable. And this is where the real clarity happens. Let's talk about the shift that finally lets their messages come through clearly. Because hearing your guides isn't about trying harder, focusing more, or forcing some kind of psyche muscle. It's actually the opposite. Your guides become clear the moment you shift out of your thinking mind and more into your sensing mind. Most people try to hear their guides, they from the neck up with analysis, expectation, and effort. But your thinking mind is loud, it's busy, it's always trying to solve something, fix something, or protect you from something. And it can be very annoying. That's your left brain. That's your logical, analytical, Frankie brain, I call it. It never shuts up. And it's always yapping, yapping, yapping. See, spirit doesn't talk to that part of you because that part is already full. Your guides use the part of you that's already quiet. That part that notices, the part that feels. That's your right brain, your open, creative hemisphere. This is a side that allows anything in. The part that listens without trying to control the outcome. It's really why children are so sensitive to spirit, because they're mostly living in their creative joy and that side of the brain. It's not the logical brain. Let me show you what I mean with a simple exercise, okay? Just take a moment and become aware of your body. You can close your eyes if you feel like it and it's safe. Don't try to relax or meditate, just notice your body. Notice your breath. Notice the weight of your body, the weight of the clothes in your body. Notice the space around you. Do you feel that small shift? The space is not constantly going a mile a minute, but it's soft and calm. That's the doorway your guides use. See, spirit speaks into your awareness, not your effort. And when your awareness opens, messages become more clear because your mind softens. Your expectations quiet down. Your energy becomes more receptive. Your intuition finally has room to rise. And your inner senses activate. You become more tuned to the frequency. And here's the part that actually surprises a lot of people. Your spirit guides are not far away from you. You're just listening from the wrong altitude, as it were. Your thinking mind listens on ground level. Your awareness listens on the mountaintop. Very different heights, very different frequencies. So the question isn't, how do I hear my guides? It's, how do I shift into the state where their communication just becomes obvious? And the fastest way to do that is this. You tune into the feeling of connection before you try to get the message. Because trying to get the message first is like trying to listen to a radio without tuning and turning it on. When you soften into the feeling of connection, even for just 10 seconds, you're suddenly on the right frequency. And on that frequency, their guidance stands out like a spotlight. But the most important part to notice is how incredibly quiet their messages are, how subtle their energy is. In fact, it's so subtle that you barely detect it. Kind of hear 1 second, and in a flash, it's gone. It's that silent whisper you hear in your head that your loud, obnoxious, analytical mind talks over so far, so fast, you can't even hear it. But when you do tune in to spirit's subtle energy or their silent whisper, You'll notice several possible clues, maybe a soft tingling on your skin or a sudden warmth in your chest. Maybe it's a quiet knowing that just feels stable and right. Maybe it's a gentle nudge towards something. Maybe it's towards a direction or a choice and it feels right. Or your mind starts to relax. Or maybe you get a word or a phrase that drifts in quietly and it's not from you. Maybe you get an image that just flashes through. Maybe you get a subtle shift of emotion, something that feels different. That's what hearing your guides actually feels like. And it's not dramatic. It's not loud. It's not like they shout your name across the room. It's subtle. It's quiet. It's consistent and incredibly loving. And once you tune into that awareness instead of the effort, their messages stop feeling like guesses and they start feeling like recognition. Now, once you've tuned into that receptive state, the next step is what actually turns those subtle impressions into clear, confident communication. And that's where point 3 really comes in. The practice that makes your guide's voice go from just whispers to perfect clarity. So before we move on to the practice that makes your guide's messages come through clearly, I want to give you something that'll help you actually feel this connection instead of just understanding it. See, I put together a brand new guide that's called the Spirit Guide Connection Starter Kit, and it walks you through the exact steps to calm your energy, tune into your awareness, and open that clear line of communication with your guides. It includes a short guided exercise and the most common signs that your guides are already sending you, and a simple daily practice that you can do really in under 5 minutes. It's totally free, and you can just grab it using the link right below. So if you've been wanting a little structure or you want to feel that connection today, not just someday off in the future, just head down to the description and you can download it there. Okay. Let's get into the practice that makes your guide's voice go from subtle to unmistakably clear, okay? Now let's talk about the one practice that really takes your spirit's guide's voice from just those subtle whispers to clear, confident communication. And I want to make this really simple because spirit communication is not complicated. Believe me, everybody makes it out to be much more than it is. It's not tough. It's not dramatic. It's not some mystical skill reserved for a chosen few. Everybody's got this. It's actually one single shift. You allow instead of attempt. And really, that's the whole practice. You don't reach out. You don't try to grab a message. You don't push your awareness into the silence. You allow the connection to meet you. Because the moment you try to make something happen, your thinking ego mind totally takes over. And your guides just get drowned out. But when you allow, 2 big things happen. Your energy softens, which creates space for spirit to step in. Also, your awareness opens, which lets your body finally notice what's already there, your mind, your feeling, your being. So let me walk you through it because I want you to feel this, not just hear it. Okay, take a deep breath, nothing deep or fancy. Just a breath that feels natural. Now imagine for a moment that someone you care about, a living person, just walked into the room behind you. You probably wouldn't hear them, probably wouldn't see them, but you definitely feel that presence, that energy behind you, right? When someone walks behind you, that's what spirit guide's energy feels like. It's kind of subtle, warm, familiar, and unmistakably present once you know what you're looking for. It's very similar to that person walking behind you. Now, here's a practice. Here's the first step. Bring your awareness into your body. You can close your eyes if you like, and if it feels safe. Don't try to relax or meditate. Just notice your body. Notice your breath. Focus on the inhalation and focus on the exhalation. Inhalation, exhalation. Do that for a few times. Help center you and get you calm. Notice the weight of your body. Notice the weight of your skin. Notice the weight of the clothes on your body. Notice the space around you. Feel your feet firmly planted on the floor, like the roots of a tree firmly planted in the ground, burrowing deep into Mother Earth. Feel the energy around your body and just become aware. Step 2, ask your guide to shift their energy around you. And you can invite them to blend with you and blend with your energy and blend with your aura. Just invite them in. You can feel them. Come, friends, come, blend with me. You might feel an energy just shift. Come, my loving guides, I invite you into my space. Imagine that your guides are coming to you and they're blending with your energy. Feel the loving energy shift. Now just simply allow yourself to notice what changes. You might notice one of several possibilities. Maybe you feel something like perhaps a warm wave across your chest. Maybe you feel a chill down one arm or maybe both arms. Maybe you feel a softening in your jaw or maybe your face. Perhaps you get a sudden emotion or maybe a memory that just pops up. Or you just get a gentle and quiet knowing. Or you just get an unmistakable feeling that somebody's with me and I don't know why. Don't judge it. Don't analyze it. Don't ask, was that it? Because the moment you analyze, you leave the frequency and your ego mind jumps in. So just notice it. Notice what's making the message clear. Analyzing is what's going to make the message disappear. So instead of trying to pull the message in, just receive. Allow, notice, receive. And when you do this consistently, even for 30 seconds a day, your guide's communication gets stronger because you get quieter. And soon you begin to realize something beautiful. You never had a problem hearing your guide. You just had a problem trusting the way that they speak. You see, this practice rewires that completely. And once you allow their presence in, without forcing anything, the clarity, the guidance, the sense of companionship, it all becomes unmistakably real. Now let's bring this home with one shift that helps your guide's messages go from maybe that was something to I know exactly what that means. So if today's practice really helped you feel even just a little bit more connected, or if it gave you that sense of, okay, I think I can actually do this. So make sure you download that Spirit Guide Connection Starter Kit in the description. It really goes much deeper into everything we talked about today. You're going to get a simple daily exercise. You're going to get signs your guides use most often. You're also going to get short guided practice that you can use anytime that you want to reconnect and just kind of really works through it. It's totally free, and it's going to make this whole journey so much clearer and so much easier for you. Just go down to the description, get the link below, and you can download it. And if you want to keep strengthening your connection with your guides, the next thing you're probably going to want to check out is my episode titled The One Thing That Instantly Raises Your Vibration. Because hearing your spirit guides clearly becomes 10 times easier when your energy is steady, open, and aligned. And most people have no idea how simple that shift truly can be. You'll find that episode linked right here. So keep raising your vibration and consciousness. Love and light. This is Chris.